So, are you aware of C, C++, basic .NET, basic programming in computer world, like
Uh,
C, C++, and
just basic knowledge I have, but I don't have
uh,
this much wide knowledge. I don't have.
okay, okay, fine. So now, uh,
Mm.
okay, I will go with the session now. So
Mm.
you have installed the Visual Studio in your
Yes,
laptop,
yes,
yeah? Yes,
yes,
okay, okay. Okay, then it's good. So,
yes.
and for 20 minutes, I will just give you, I will explain what is what in the .NET and all, in basics of the .NET I will explain. Okay.
Okay,
Uh,
okay,
After explaining the basics of the .NET, I am going to code the .NET from the scratch. You also type along with me, so that you
okay,
can also understand what is happening. Okay,
okay,
right?
okay,
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 okay. I'm going. So I'm going ahead. If I'm going first, you
okay,
can tell me, no problem. If you know these
okay,
things means you can also tell those things and all. Okay, fine. Okay,
okay, okay.
okay. So I'm moving with the slides like this. So this is the first slide. This is the first slide. I'm just highlight it. Uh, that, okay. See, if you see this diagram, you can see this
Mm.
diagram, the .NET Enterprise Vision, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so in this diagram, if you see there are different devices are there, laptop,
Yes.
palm top, pager, different devices are there. For all these
Mm.
devices, there is a good support for the .NET. Okay,
Oh,
means
oh, oh.
.NET is widely evolved over the internet. Okay,
Okay,
uh,
okay.
means what? Earlier we were developing applications like down if you see billing application, customer service application. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
so earlier these applications were local. Means what? And they were developed in not in one technology. Different
Oh,
technologies they have developed this application. Suppose sales application down you can see which is local. It has been developed in say Java you can say. Suppose customer service application is there that has been developed in .NET. Billing application, it must have developed in Python or some other technology. It has been developed. That's why I have mentioned here back office applications, heterogeneous applications, not homogeneous applications. Okay,
okay.
you're getting. So,
Ah, yes, yes.
the applications which were earlier local, now you are
Okay.
able to now you are able to access those applications using .NET if you are connected to the internet, right?
Ah, yes, yes. Mm.
Okay, if you're connected to the internet, whatever technology, whatever in whichever technology they have developed the software, if
Mm.
you are
Mm.
connected to the internet, .NET provides a good support for the internet. Okay, good support for all the devices, and it's .NET is very what fastly you can develop the project. It's mainly used for commercial applications and all. Okay,
Okay,
look and feel
okay.
plug all look and feel plug also will be very nice. Okay,
Mm.
so now
Okay.
first of all, I will be telling what is the vision of the .NET. The vision of the .NET is any device, any place, any time. Okay, any device,
Mm.
any place, any time you use it. Um, any device, any place, any time you use it. Any back office applications which were earlier local, you
Mm.
can access it through internet if XML web services are installed on the servers. Okay, if you're connected to
Okay.
the internet, what happens?
Mm.
You can connect to the server. Suppose Yahoo server, you can connect different companies servers. You can connect it. Okay,
Mm.
so different company servers you are connected. You can connect it in the different company servers. What happens? They will install certain functions, XML web services functions. They will install. Okay,
Okay.
you know what is a function in C++ you have written learn about function. You will write general function like add function, subtract function,
Ah, yes.
those kind of things.
General thing I know. I know. I
Yeah,
know.
you have written some
Yes,
functions
yes.
in C. Yeah, now the
Oh,
functions which you have developed earlier are local, only you can see it. Yes or no?
yes, yes.
Now what I will do, if I'm giving direct connection to the server, load on the server will increase. Oh, yes or not? Means suppose Microsoft server is there, millions of people are working in the Microsoft company. Yes.
Yes. Mm.
So if I'm given direct connection to the server to all the people, load on the server will increase. So what I will tell you, you write your function, whether you write add function, subtract function, whatever function you want, you write it. Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
That function I will make it as, I will convert into a web service. Web service means what? Web service means what? A function which anybody can see it. Okay,
Anyone
anybody,
can.
yeah, anybody in the world can see it. Those function I will install it in the server. Okay,
Okay,
so
okay.
it is not required to develop complete functionality to access any back office applications which are developed in different domains, heterogeneous
Okay.
domains. It's not required. If you install some XML web services, I am asking what is your requirement. I'm asking as per your requirement, you develop one function. I'm asking, okay, right? That function I will convert into a web service, and that is the advantage of that is the vision of .NET. You use any device, any place, any time, any back office application, you can access it easily if web services are installed on it. Okay, so some services will be, some special functions will be installed. The special functions, what they will do, those special functions will make you available any code. You can easily access it through any device, any place, anytime. So that is what the vision of .NET we call it as. They are focusing on in that vision, right? Means what, it should be that much easily accessible, like that they are saying. So that's what vision of .NET. You understood what is the vision of .NET?
Okay, I understood.
If you have any doubts, you can tell me what I'm means this is the vision of .NET. Means what, any back office applications, local applications which are developed in different domains, you can easily access if you are connected to the internet through by connecting to the servers, and in that server some special functions like web services will be installed, right? So that those special functions you can access it. That facility is easily provided by the .NET. That is the .NET Enterprise Vision. That is the .NET Enterprise Vision. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Any doubts in this one, in this slide?
This one is okay.
Means later on I'll tell you. Practically you'll learn it. What is a web service and all. Everything you'll learn it. Just right now I'm just giving you a general overall view. I am giving it to you. Okay?
Okay, okay, okay.
Any problem? Any problem? No.
No.
Okay, if you have problem, tell. Now next time, moving to the next slide. Generally, when after knowing the vision of .NET, there are two categories of programmers will be there. One is system programmer, another one is application programmer, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Now system programmer means what? Somebody who is doing very low level programming. Means what, you are writing a code which is very much near to the machine language, right?
Okay.
So suppose in your laptop some the driver is not working, you will install that Dell drivers or any HP driver, then it will start working the thing, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So that time, but that kind of programming if you're doing is called system level programming. Okay. Actually, so to do a system level programming, it is difficult. Means what? It is very difficult to code it. It will be not that much user friendly. System programming. You got it?
Okay, okay. Yes, yes.
Okay, if any error comes in the system programming, what happens? The system only will tell this is the error. Okay.
Yes.
But it is a little bit difficult to program it using system programming. Like embedded systems is then embedded programming we say. Okay, the device drivers we say. This kind of programmings which make the hardware run. Chips, controllers in electronics way we will write na. So those kind of programming is called system programming. We call it as, right.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So those are system programmers. Now, when coming to the application programming, so as per your requirement on daily, for your day-to-day requirement, you develop some applications. This is the application programming. Application programming means it will be very much user-friendly. High-level programming we call it as. So in this application programming, what happens if error comes? Yeah. What happens if any in application programming? What happens if any error comes? A tester will be there. He will tell this error has come. System will not tell the errors. Okay. So suppose you require Excel application is a system programming. Excel file you will use na, Word, Excel and all. You want to store data in the form of rows and columns. So they have that is our requirement. Based upon the requirement, you have developed one application, Excel application you have developed. Okay.
Yes.
In the same way, to develop your day-to-day requirements, suppose you want to develop a small applications for your father or in your shop or anywhere, in your library management or any kind of application you want to develop, you have to do application programming. Okay.
Yes, yes.
So .NET comes under application programming. It does not comes under system programming. You got it?
Oh, got it, got it.
So generally, there are two types of programmers will be there: application programming and system programming. So .NET comes under the category of application programming. So based upon our day-to-day requirement, we develop applications. Means you develop application Excel. Okay. Now, if you which you have to use one platform, using that platform, you will develop the application. That's called application programming. We call it as. You will use .NET application. You can use Java application. Different applications will be there. Okay.
Okay.
So this second slide is clear for you.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So I'm now moving to the third slide, platform. Okay. So before going to the platform, let me tell you there are two types of platform will be there: development platform and production platform will be there, right?
Okay, okay.
Okay, development platform means what? Your project is still not ready. You are doing in-house development on that one. Means what? Still project is not ready. You are developing the project. Still it's not ready. Okay.
That means in our system we are developing the application.
Yeah. You are developing. You are not making it live. Okay. You are not making it live. Okay. Some local server will be there. In that local server, you are executing it. So that is what development platform we call it as. Okay.
Okay.
You can do some small testing and all. So when the project is all ready, when everything is ready, then what you will do? There is a production platform will be there. Okay. Means company server will be there. You have to go to the company server and you have to upload your website there. Then we call it as production. Then we call it as production platform. Okay.
Yes.
Now in production platform, as per the client's requirement, you will load the images, change the themes. As per his requirement, you change the things and set it and develop an exe file and give it to him. So those things are called production platform. We call it as. Okay.
Yes.
Now, what is a platform? Which platform you are working? Platform is not an operating system. Okay. Platform is what? Something above our operating system. Okay. That's what we call it as a platform. We call it as, right? Okay, so this is what we call it as platform. You understood platform. Still, I will go deeper. This much you understood platform. So platform is an environment for developing and executing applications.
Yes.
Right. Now after the platform, now I'm coming to the framework. Okay. Now I will give you one scenario. First, I will give you one scenario. Framework means what? Suppose you are a civil engineer. You imagine yourself as a civil engineer, right? Okay. Now two options I will give. One plain land I will give, and already you have to construct a big building of 15 floors, right? You have to construct a big building of 15 floors. I'm asked first two options I will give. First I will give you plain land. Another one is already two floors I have constructed. Base I have constructed very strongly. That I am giving to you. Which option you will select as a civil engineer? It's your wish. You can answer anything.
Hello, could you ask once more?
Yes. So, see, imagine you are a civil engineer. You are constructing a site building. Okay.
Okay.
There is an empty site is there where plain land I'm giving it. Another one is I'm giving you a platform. Means I'm giving you one two floors I already have constructed with base that I'm giving to it. Which one you want to select? You want to start it from the plain land, or you want to take one two platform already constructed one? You want to take it for developing a building.
Plain one I will choose, maybe. It depends upon the work.
Okay. Suppose if you are choosing plain one, your whatever base you are constructing, the first two floors which you are constructing, it should be very much strong. If anything goes wrong, whole building will collapse, right?
Yes.
So as a civil engineer, you should have some 20 to 20 years of experience so that the building should not collapse, right?
Yes.
But but if already some base is given, means I'm giving you some base with some two floors constructed. So that is what we call it as framework. We call it as in .NET. What happens? They are giving you one framework. Okay.
Okay.
So ready-made framework they are giving you. Okay, that framework you have to use it. Even though you are a novice programmer, you can use that and become an expert programmer. That is what the framework we call it as. Generally, I'm thinking it. See, literal meaning of framework is what? Logically related things kept at one place. So can I use Notepad? I will use Notepad for typing something. Okay. font ability, format, font. Just a minute, so that you can go listen carefully. You can see everything. No?
Oh, yes, yes.
Okay. So logically, um, okay, logically related things kept at kept at one place. We can call it as framework. Okay.
Mm.
See, I'm a human being. My hands and legs are not going anywhere. They are at one place only. Yes or no? So,
Yes,
so
yes.
I'm a human being of constraint of framework of hands and legs and all, right? Logically related
Mm.
things kept at one place. We call it literal meaning. I'm telling framework. Okay.
Oh, okay, okay.
So in the same manner, framework means what? Is a ready to use collection of classes. The framework means what? Some set of classes and interfaces will be there, which will be used to develop the .NET application. That is what we call it as framework. Understood?
Okay, okay, okay.
Now, so first I have given you one example that you can use plain land, or you can use already constructed two-floor building, two-floor base with base. I have told you, na?
Oh, yes, yes.
Now, if you are using plain land, you can create your own framework. No doubt, you can also create your some framework. Means before developing .NET application, you can create your set of classes and you can put it in the framework. Okay, but the framework should the website should not collapse. The building should not collapse. So that's why the .NET people are giving ready to use framework, which you can use it and develop the application. So now right now the definition of framework means what? Set of classes and interfaces used to develop one particular type of application. That is what you call it as framework. You understood?
Framework. Yes, yes.
So that is what framework. Framework is on the top of platform. Okay. So now if
Okay.
you see this, so if you see this slide, if you see this slide, see this, you know C, na? You know C, right?
Just
So
aware about that.
yeah, C framework, Java framework, .NET framework. If you see
Mm.
this framework, these are nothing but you can see my cursor, na?
Yes.
So these are nothing but classes. C framework
Mm.
is nothing but collection of classes. Which classes? Conio.h header files, collection of header files are C framework. You
Mm.
have written studio.io.h,
Yes.
conio.h like that. So the
Yes.
collection of header files is called C framework. You understood?
Yes.
In the same way, if you're doing Java programming, collection of packages like java.util, java.io is nothing but Java framework. Okay. Now, in the same way, collection of namespaces like system, IO, many namespaces will be there. Okay, which consists of some classes is called .NET framework. Okay. Everywhere we'll use the classes which are given by the people, means the C framework, Java framework, the company's Java company, .NET company. They are giving some ready-made classes to use for to print some functionality. They are giving some for functional classes like console.writeline, like that they will give. Those classes will be there in the namespaces. You have to include the namespaces, just like how you include in C conio.h, studio.h, like that you will include. Na? You have to include like that. Understood?
Yes.
Yeah, getting.
Yes. Yes.
Now, what is the difference between this? Yeah, what is the difference between these frameworks? See, one compiler is there, one compiler, one language, one syntax, something is like that. One language. See, if you see, there is only one compiler in C framework. Yes. In C framework, there is only one compiler. And what is C compiler? There is only one language, C language you are using. Okay, and there is only one syntax you will use. You will not use different syntax. Okay, the same thing is there with the Java. Only one compiler will be there. Java compiler, only one language, Java language will use. Only one kind of syntax will be using. But in .NET framework, what happens? This round, the small round, they might have developed in here different languages will be there.
Oh.
One namespace may be developed in one language, one compiler, one compiler. Okay, so means what? One language. So here mixed language programming you can do it. In .NET what happens? In .NET .NET mixed language programming, you can do it. Mixed language programming, you can do it. Okay. Suppose you are developing a project. Okay. Suppose you are developing a project. Okay. Okay. 70% of the project. 70% of the project you can do it in Visual C Sharp. You can do it. Okay. Then the remaining 30%. You can do it in VB.NET. Okay. So like afterwards you can combine it. Or integrate it. So that is the facility in the .NET. Means you can do mixed language programming also. You can do it. Okay. That is a little bit advantage here. Okay. Another one in .NET. .NET framework means nothing but some collection of classes and some interfaces. So where are these classes? In the namespace. So you have to use that namespace. And in .NET, another facility what you have to use, what is the facility is that you can develop mixed language programming. You can do it. Half of the project you can do it in the, suppose all the many people are there. 70% of the people they are expert in .NET, Visual C Sharp. Another one is expert in VB.NET, J Sharp, like that. So I can divide it, and later on, finally I can, for maintenance, I can integrate it, and later I can combine it. So that is the advantage of mixed language programming. You can do it in the .NET, right? Got it?
Got it.
So these are all. So this is the .NET. This is about this will be there in the this one framework. That is what framework. Framework is what? Ready to use collection of classes and interface used for developing particular type of application. That is what framework we call it as, right?
Okay.
Fine. So I'm moving to next slide. So now a little bit. This one is the next slide. Now just I will go deep in the platform. See, now people will ask platform independent language. Platform independent language they will tell. C, C++ is not a platform independent language. It depends upon the operating system. See, now I will go a little bit deep into the platform. Okay, development platform I told, then what production platform I told it. Okay. Something on which you are depending immediately is nothing but a platform. Okay. Suppose the operating system is there, your operating system is there, any operating Windows, any operation, what it is depending on? It is depending on the hardware. Yes. So for the operating system, the platform is hardware. Here for the operating system, the platform is hardware. Okay. So in the same way, if you are doing system programming, C, C++, it is depending on the operating system. Okay. Means what? If you change the operating system, C programming will not run. It is completely depending on the type of operating system only. Okay. But if you see Java application, you use any operating system, whether Linux or you use some other Windows. Okay. If you install the Java runtime environment, JRE, it becomes a platform independent language. Okay. See here, I have installed JRE here. Blue color line is there, na? Parrot green color. Here JRE have installed. So it is a platform independent language. Java applications I can run it. Even though operating system changes, tomorrow if I change it to Linux, then it will be platform independent language. It will be okay. Now .NET. Now the question is whether .NET is a platform independent language. Yes. Java is completely platform independent language. .NET is also platform independent language, but within the .NET framework only. Within the .NET framework only. Okay. See, Java is. I will give the notes on the wait. .NET is platform independent language. Within the .NET framework only. Okay. Within the .NET framework only. But Java is completely platform independent language. You understood what I am saying? Independent language. See, you have heard of open source. Open source means what?
open source I heard, but I don't completely, I don't
Okay.
understand.
So open source means this
We can access,
PHP.
easily access without
Yeah.
paying like that.
Yeah. Yes. So what happens? Java is open source. This then PHP, some then MySQL. These are some open source technologies. We can directly access it. You need not have to pay it. Okay. So what happens if you're doing a Java application? Different companies will be using different editors. Java Beans, another one is using Eclipse and all. Later on, it is very difficult to configure. Okay. But in .NET, everywhere they will use only one Visual Studio. Only they will use. Okay. Now, if open source is there, you have to what you have to do. It is a platform independent. See, something I have developed with lot of hard work, and I am just giving you one button. If you click, everything will work automatically. So then why I will make it that as open source? I will not make it as open source. Yes or no?
Yes.
So in .NET also what happens within the .NET framework they have made it as a platform independent. Means if you are using Windows operating system, you can download Windows software and all like that. It will tell generally while doing something while installing some applications and all. Okay, so you can say .NET is a platform independent language within the .NET framework. Okay, Java is completely a platform independent language. These are Java applications. These are all open source. You can download and write it, but you have to a lot of configuration you have to do, a lot of coding you have to do. Here, what happens? Some sort of coding, some complex functionality is there. That complex functionality they have kept it in one button click event or some other function. They have kept it, and they are giving you the ready-made things to do. If something I have developed with lot of hard work, why should I make it as open source? Okay, I'll restrict it as within the .NET framework as a platform independent. Okay. You got it. What is .NET platform independent language, right?
Okay.
Okay. So now in the framework, what and all things will be there? Okay. In the framework, runtime environment will be there. Okay. Runtime environment which means runtime environment is required for both development platform and the production platform. Means what? You have developed one project. You have developed one application app you have developed. Okay. Using .NET, you have developed one app. That app you want to run it, you want to make it an exe file. So runtime environment is required. Runtime environment is what? The environment where I can execute my applications. Okay. Suppose I want to go from one place to another place, I will sit in the car and I will go, or I will sit in the airplane, I will go. So that is what runtime environment I call it as, right? Okay. So when doing it, so this runtime environment is required both in development platform and also in production platform. Means what? Even the project is not ready, then also runtime environment is required. If the project is ready, then also runtime environment is required. Okay. Then this framework will have SDK. SDK means what? Some kit will be there. If you click that one, all the classes and all will be installed. Okay. Then if you want, I can give you one notepad and I can ask you to develop the application, but it will take long time. So they are giving one tool which is Visual Studio.NET Rapid Application Tool. RAD means Rapid Application Tool. They are giving it. Using that Rapid Application Tool, you can work with Visual C#. You can work with VB.NET. You can work with Visual C#. Any kind of technology within the .NET you can work it. So that is these and all things will be there in the framework. Runtime environment will be there. SDK will be there. SDK is required only in the development. Okay, the SDK is not required in the production environment because already project is developed using SDK. Only thing is that to run the application you require runtime environment. Got it? So these and all things will be there. So different versions have developed. Now it is very old. Now we are in the 2020 4.6 and all are there. This is an old slide. That's why I have not updated it. So just check this slide. Then I will come this one. This is see this one. This one you see. This is a stack. First operation system is there. Okay. Now I will tell you one thing. What happens? Here I told you, 70% of the project I will do it in the Visual C#. Okay. So now for 70% of project, I compile it. Okay. So using Visual C# I will compile it. Okay. So I will get one code that is called it as MSIL code. Microsoft intermediate language code, I will get it. Okay, just like
Okay.
Java bytecode, I will get it, na? Something like that. MSIL code, I will get it. MSIL code, I will get it. Then another 30% of the project, 30% of the project, 30% of project, I will compile it using, because different compilers are there, na? I have told you, different compilers are there. VB, okay. So again, another MSIL I will get, okay. MSIL, platform independent code I will get, okay. Using this compiler I compiled it, using this compiler I compile it, I will get MSIL code, and here also MSIL code I will get it. This MSIL code is passed into CLR. MSIL code is passed into CLR. Okay, CLR means nothing but main compiler.
Okay.
These are Visual C# compiler, VB compiler. This CLR means main compiler. So here what happens? Here you have used the syntax of C#, na? 70% of the project you have used the syntax of C#, and 30% of the project you have used the syntax of VB. Yes. So I have to convert it into common syntax, common type. I have to convert it. Okay. Common type system. I have to make different data types. You have used there. Some other here in Visual C# you have used one data type. Here you have used another data type. So once it passes into the main compiler, JIT code will be there. JIT code will be there. That will be executed. That will be executed. Will be executed, and your program will run it. Okay. So so the CLR means common certain. It will convert the data types of VB into common type. The .NET framework type it will convert. It will convert the data type of VB into .NET framework type. It will convert. So that is what I'm saying. First operating system common language runtime will be there. Right? It's a main compiler. Okay. On the top of it, .NET framework will be there. Right? Right. .NET framework means what? Some set of classes. Now you can use Windows programming, and using the classes of .NET framework you can develop a Windows application. Using the use of ASP.NET, you can using the classes of .NET framework you can develop ASP.NET applications. All these things you can develop it. In that you can use integrated language C#. In Windows, I want to use integrated language C++, C#, VB, anything you can use it. So like that the stack will be there. Okay. See this diagram. See this diagram. So first VB compiler is there, VB compiler is there, C# compiler is there. They are compiled. Now MSIL code I am getting it. Okay. Okay. Afterwards, they are passed into common language runtime system. Okay. In that different this data type is converted into common type. This data type is converted into common type, and finally it will execute in the operating system, and you can see the output. Okay. So like that it will be there. Okay. So this is the basic stack. This is the coding and all. So just later on I will forward this slide to you. Okay. Shall we go with one program now? One program shall we go it? One demo will go it. Okay. Open Visual Studio. So that now theory is enough. Now we'll only do coding. With coding we'll learn it. Okay. Open Visual Studio. You know now how to open? Yeah.
Oh yes. I have opened.
File. Okay, new project. Console-based application I will use it. You know console-based application.
Yes.
So here what happens? Just coming to the slide, we can develop different kinds of applications here. I have told common better. So console-based applications I can develop, Windows application I can develop, Windows services I can develop, web-based application I can develop, remote application I can develop, mobile application you can develop. Many things you can develop using .NET. Right? I will show some demos using console, then Windows, and all the things I will show you. Okay. So now you can select one console app and give some name as I'm giving some name to it. Print demo. Say print demo. You can give it. Okay. Which framework you are selecting? Any framework you can select, no problem. Which version you have Visual Studio? This one only. Visual Studio 2017.
2017.
Hello. Okay, you can just open. You're seeing now. You can open one console application. And you type along with me what under I'm typing. We'll have some demo, and then I will wind up after 20 minutes, right? Into 15 to 20 minutes, right? Okay, just have, because theory is over now. Only practically only learn, and again we'll go back to theory. This you can see.
Yes.
I can maximize. You can see.
Yes.
Okay, so this is my name. This is my namespace. Under this namespace, classes are there, right? So this is my namespace. These are the namespaces provided by the .NET. Okay. Okay. So in this this is a using system. This is a using system. What is system namespace? Collection of namespaces. These are collection of namespaces, right? So let us write one program now. This means, you know, data type declaring int A. You type along with me. Int A, comma B, comma C. So later on I'll tell you what is this public static void main class and all. Right now just focus on printing, taking the input and printing the things, right? Right. You're typing along with me.
Yes.
You can type along with me. Okay. So first console dot write line, right? Enter values in A and B. Enter values in A and B. You have to write. If you want to write something, you have to use console class, and write line is the function. Okay. Okay. So in A you want to enter the values. You have to say console dot read line. Console dot read line. So as whatever you're typing in the command prompt is the string, you have to convert into in the integer type. Okay. Convert dot to int. You can type along with me, no problem. To int. If you put dot, everything will come. That's why that all dot. B you enter. Convert dot to int. Console dot read line. Okay. So I will make this program still deeper. You just keep on typing. C is equal to A plus B. You are understanding, na? Nothing big, na? This is.
Yes.
Okay, console dot write line. Finally, I want to print it. You have to write like this. The sum of placeholder 0 and 1 is 2. Like this, you have to write. All the ways I will show you. I will explain you. A, comma B, comma C. Finally, at the last, you write it console dot read line. I want the command prompt to stay like there only, so I'm writing this. So write this much. Type.
Convert. I'm still writing, so just wait.
Yeah, you take your time, no problem. Okay. Now, what is the time in Oman now?
No, it is cut. It is just 5:09.
Oh. Okay. You write slowly. In this only, I will be typing a lot of codes and all. You type slowly, you type, no problem. Now only typing only is there. That's all. No theory. See, all the things I cannot type it here. Few things I will send it. Some codes I will give it to you. You practice it. Assignments and all I will give it to you. You have to just practice it. Through my company, I will just send them. They will send it to you. The things, right?
Okay, that's fine.
Because lot of coding will be there.
Yeah.
Done. Typing.
Oh, 1 second.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, I will show you the demo. You later on you can type. I will give
Okay.
time. First understand. See,
Okay.
enter the values in A and B. So A and B you will entering the values and you are adding it and you are putting it in the C. Right. Now
Yes.
the sum of 0 and 1. These are called placeholders. Okay. Placeholders.
Okay.
You will write percentage D in C. Percentage D you will write now for C. C and all percentage D.
Yes. Yes.
The sum of percentage D and D is again percentage D like that. Here placeholders will be there. Okay. The sum of 0 and 1 is 2. You have to always write 0, 1, 2. Like that only you have to start. Don't start with 1, 2, 3. Like that you don't start. 0, 1, 2. So this will replace A here. This will replace B here. And this will replace C here. Right? Okay. So now let us see the output. Afterwards I will give you time. So that after understanding it will be better to write. The sum. So first I'm enter values in A and B. I'm asking. Console.readline is to I want the command prompt to stay for some time. Okay.
Oh, otherwise it will not display the result.
Yeah, no. Otherwise you have to say Control F5. Okay, then it will display. Then command prompt will come. Okay. Now enter values. 23 I entered. Okay. Second 45 I entered. The sum of 23 and 45 is 68. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So like that you can print it. Then you start writing the code, and I will write all the varieties in this one. You just type along with me. No, you understood? Just type.
Yes.
You can just type now. Plus like this also you can write. You can type now, no problem. When variable comes, plus you have to use. If I do like this, you can see.
Yes.
Okay. See, I'm putting comments there to print constants. You can print constants also. It's not that only inside the variable value only you can print. You can just print constants also. 78 one constant, na? 2x plus 3y. 2x is variable. 2 means constant. 2x plus 3. I can print constants also.
2x. Where is 2x?
No. I'm telling. Suppose I'm writing an equation. 2x plus algebraic equation 4y. 45z. Algebraic equation if I'm writing. X is what? Variable, na?
Yes.
2 is constant. Okay.
Yes.
So I can print constants also. I'm telling that's all. Okay. So I have to print constants like this. Just keep on typing. If you're not understanding, I'll explain it.
I'm not getting time for typing and looking to the screen.
No problem. You take it. I will give you time. I'm just write the code and keep it before you. Okay.
Okay.
If you type, I will wait. No problem. Okay. You type it and execute it and tell me any doubts you have.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead. I cannot see your screen. I can see your screen. No. I think.
How can I show you my screen?
That answer I also don't know. Okay. You type it, and if you have any doubts, I will show it in my laptop. Yeah.
Okay.
Flower bracket you have to use that. You can run it and see it.
It will take time. Sorry.
No problem. No, take your time. No problem. Start initially it will be deep. Afterwards it will be fine. No problem. No problem. Take your time. No problem. Initially it will be not.
Yes, I don't have this
What?
development background, so I don't have this typing speed.
That's what typing speed is. You have to practice on the keyboard little bit. ASDF, semicolon, LKJ, ZX, CV, and all. So that those things will be there in your mind and you
Yeah.
can do it.
Okay.
You know how to run, na? Their top button is there, start button.
That start button.
Yeah.
That I know.
You don't forget to write console.readline.
Okay. One more line I have to finish.
No problem. Take it.
Mhm.
Which one? February.
Hmm?
February line to print constants, huh?
Yes.
No way. No problem. Done?
1 minute, 1 minute.
No.
0 and 1 is. See, okay, I have done.
Just run it and see you are getting the output. What output you are getting? You are getting correct output. All additions 78, 28, 29.
Let me check. It is building.
Yeah, building, no problem. Today is first day, na? So tomorrow I'll just check it with them, my team, what I can give and all, so that it will be easier to deliver easily, like that. Whether I can share your screen, how it is like that, yeah. So that I can check so that I can check the errors also, no? That's all.
Okay. 0. Yes, it is coming fine.
Yes, coming fine. So let me explain you few things.
Mm.
I'll you see my system and see what I'm doing. So this is the sum of 0 and 1 is 2. This is I'm running my system. Okay. My system I'm running it. So fine. Enter the values 12 say 45. The sum of 12 and 45 is this one. The sum of this here space is not there. Na? It is space problem is coming, right?
Yes.
So now here space means sort of give some space here like this. Okay. It will come. Okay. Now here if you want to give space means 5 space you want to give means comma 5 space you can give it. Comma 5 space you can give it. Comma 5 space you can give it. Okay. And these are constant. You can print. This is a constant now. You can print constants also.
Okay.
78 is a constant. February has 28 days or 29 days. Okay. So you can print constants also. That's why I have written to you can print constants, right? So now if you see the output, it is like this. Again I am giving 12, 45. Now it's okay.
Now it is okay.
Okay. Now now there are different data types in .NET. Okay. See here the data types. Right? These are the data types in .NET, right? Int, byte, short. You want to find out the range of the data type int. Okay. Okay. For that, what you will do, you can write here like this something which I'm writing it. Later on, you can type it. You can just see it right now. Minimum and max value. Okay. Console dot write line int data type range is 0, max, and 1. You understood this placeholder?
Yes. Placeholder is where the value comes.
Yeah, that's all. Int dot max you write it. Max value, comma int dot min value. First I write the code. Later on you can see it. Right. So you can check there. You no need to go and check the data types online. You directly you can check it. This value you can see it here in the program. Okay. I'm running it again. So 12, 45. See, data type int data type ranges max is this one. Minimum is this one. Okay, so for any data type you can check it. Means what another data type I'm copying it. Control C, Control V. Is int. Now I'm checking for byte.
Okay.
Byte. So here you have to put byte. Byte minimum value, byte maximum value. Okay, now again I'm running it. Here simply I'm entering 12, 45. In one line I want to enter the values. See 0 to 255. Okay, so the value is here. Where is the slide? The value is here 0 to 255 byte.
Yes.
Okay, this you try it. Then another, in single line I want to send the values. In single line I want to send the values. That code also I will write it. At a time you can try it, all these things. Okay, single line, single line taking values. Okay, I am putting the comments also here. Okay, so that you can understand. Okay.
Okay.
First single line means what? Suppose string x I told. Console dot read line I am telling. Console dot read line I am telling. Here also I am reading it, right? Okay.
So you means that value is stored in X, right?
Yes.
Which value
That's
value we are entering is stored in X.
Yes. Right. Enter single line. So single line inputs. Okay. Enter single line inputs. Okay. So X is there. Na? First you will type 12 comma you want to type 12 comma 45 you want to type. Okay. So int m, first value int m is equal to x dot. Here you again have to write convert dot 2 into 16. X dot split you have to use.
Split.
Split. First value you want to enter na 0. Second value you want to enter int n. N is equal to again same. Convert dot 2 into 16. X dot split again. Split delimiter. Delimiter means what? How 12 comma you want to put, 12 hyphen you want to put. That is your wish. Second value you want to enter 1. Okay. Now I am entering this. In a single line I am taking the value. Now I am printing that value. Console dot write line. The sum of what placeholder. Again. Now m and n. Okay, getting it. Now m and n. Getting it? I will show you. M, the sum of m. M means what? That will go m comma m. I will tell you m comma n. Now I will put it m plus n simply. Why to declare another value? I'll add it here only. And there only I will catch it. There only add it. Now see here. Just check the output. This much you do it today. Practice it, and then I will tell you. 12, 34. Now enter single line values. 12 comma 45. Okay, 12 comma 45. Single line only I am entering it. Okay. 12 is going in the m. 45 is going in n. Okay, like this you have to do it. So you can split the string using a delimiter comma and put it in the m. X only I am splitting. This is the x na. X. Whatever you are typing, 12 comma 45 comma 67 comma. These are all our string values. Okay. The string value you are splitting it. First value you are taking it and putting it in the m. Second value you are taking it, putting in the n. Like that you are doing.
That means if 12 I am entering, you are taking.
At a time I am asking.
12
at a time I am asking 12 comma 45. Yeah, tell me. Yeah.
12 comma 45. Then 12 will be m and n will be 45.
That's all. Yeah, like that.
Okay.
In a single line you are sending the values, na? Earlier it was not like that.
Earlier. Actually earlier it was like we wrote to console right line.
45. Like that. Yeah. And the 45 comma 78. Don't give 45 hyphen 56. Don't give space also, because 56. If you want to give space, you have to provide their space. Space there.
Okay, you should add a comma, right?
If you want space, use space.
Oh, then here we will add space.
Space. Now you see. Wait. So I am 12, 45. Okay. 12 space 56.
56.
So this you practice today.
Okay.
This much you practice today. I will leave the screen and I am just going. So this screen is there now with you. Just this much you